Welcome to Redline Gaming. Today's tutorial will be about aerials. However, it's not going to be your traditional video on car control or how to do aerials, but rather the decision making behind them. What you should be thinking about before you take the leap, as it were, and what you should be thinking about while you're in the air. Hence the title of this video, Look Before You Leap. Aerials are probably one of the most talked about mechanics in the game, and for good reason. Everyone loves to do them. They're a lot of fun. You get a lot of good clips out of it. I know that when I was back in Gold 3, Gold 2, somewhere around there, when I first started seeing players jump in the air for the ball, I didn't even realize you could do that. I thought it was amazing, wanted to learn how to do it myself immediately. And hopefully you have some level of aerial car control already. You will definitely need to have that before watching this video, because we're not going to go over specific mechanics, although we will talk about some small mechanics like air rolling and how that kind of factors in your decision making. But really we're talking about some questions you want to ask yourself before you go up in the air, and this is of course happening in moments of time. So that's one thing you'll have to practice, get used to, is doing these things, asking these questions before you make the decision to go up for the ball. That's really what it comes down to. So without further ado, let's look at this replay I pulled up here. A very simple aerial that I did. We'll just play through it one time at regular speed. So you can see it's not really anything special. It's not fancy or anything. However, in this very unassuming maneuver and play, there was a lot of decision making going on here. So there's 4 questions you want to ask yourself before you jump into the air. First question is, what time is it? Well, as you can see on the clock here, the game basically just started. We're only about 45 seconds in. So the reason you want to ask yourself this is, if the game has just started, like here in this example, right? We're only half a minute into the game or more. Taking the chance at running an aerial play is not a big deal. You still got another 4 minutes left to make up for it if you screw it up. But if the situation were reversed, let's say we had 20 seconds left on the clock and the game is tied, do you want to take this chance? Do you have what it takes to get to this ball, make the play on it, make the shot go in? Is your team up to the task as well? If you miss and the other team clears it and there's only 20 seconds left and the game is tied, they now have control of the ball, and it could end up on a 3v2 situation because you're up in the air recovering, perhaps. Myself. The second one is, do I have enough boost for this play? And as you can see, I have plenty in the tank there. I had just pulled up a 100 pack over there at mid. So I have plenty to work with. I would recommend, if you're going for any kind of aerial play, especially if the ball is pretty high, make sure you have 60 or more. If you're really good at it, perhaps you don't need that much. Depending on the situation, you can feather your boost really well. Good for you. But you should be looking at that boost meter before you go up. Question 3. Will I get there first? Well, it certainly looks like it from my point of view here. So I take the first jump, and I'm going for this ball. If somebody has already gone up for the ball in the defense, there is no reason to waste your time, your boost, your effort going up in the air for this. Forget it, rotate back. This leads us to the fourth question. One of the most important. They're really all important, but this is very important. Because in aerial play, if it's unsuccessful, can sometimes directly correlate to an opposing goal by the other team. So the fourth question is my teammate or one of my teammates rotating back? Now in this situation, in this example here, you can see my teammate Lino. I can see that he's on his way back. And I've already established in the first 45 seconds of this game that he has the capability and the wherewithal to be rotating back. I've already seen it in a few plays before this, so I'm confident that he's going to make it. The time on the clock factors into this as well. Even if he doesn't, it's not the biggest loss in the world. It's one goal if they do score on the counterattack. We can easily make it back up. One other thing I wanted to add, I forgot to mention, is when calculating how much boost you have, keep in mind you want enough boost to make the touch on the ball and to recover quickly. This is especially important in twos because otherwise you're leaving your teammate in a 2v1 situation and he's not likely to fare well, especially in lower ranks. Now that I'm up in the air, I have other decisions to make. We've already figured out that there's 4 to make before you even go up in the air. So now that we're up in the air, we've committed to this play. You can see that this defender, Inconceivable, he's also decided to go up to defend this. So I have to air roll and angle my car in a way that, because I see that it's very possible he's going to make it to this ball first. Even though I went up first, he was closer. So I have to decide, well, am I going to continue making my play in the ball at the intersection I was going to meet it at in the first place? Am I going to reposition myself, which is not always that easy when you're already in the air, but to set up a block because he might get there before me? So I kind of choose the halfway point there. I'm pretty confident I'm gonna get to this ball and that he's either going to miss or I might be able to get in the way if he doesn't miss. Either way, again, not the biggest commitment here. We got plenty of time on the clock if I fail. So I've checked for a defender. There's somebody there. Who's going to be first to the ball? We've answered that question. It's kind of up in the air. Could be him, though. Now, what if the defender gets the first hit on the ball? We'll have two options there. If you think that the defender's going to get, you've already committed, and the defender's going to get there first, then you should bail out. Save your boost and just get down to the ground as soon as possible. Don't just keep going for the heck of it because it's fun to fly up in the air. At least not if you want to win. The other important aspect here is to be conservative with your boost, and if he's going to get to the ball first, you're also conserving that boost, not just for the sake of not wasting it, but to use it to get back down to the ground faster and get back into the play and help your team out on the counterattack. So, you're going to see here that once I see that he is going to put a first touch on the ball, or potentially could, I've let off the boost. I already have enough momentum in the air, and I'm going in the right direction to meet this ball without even touching the boost again. that was the plan. That's the goal. I've succeeded in doing that. I can let off because I see him coming at the ball first. So now, instead of wasting the last 50 boost, I'm just waiting for him, or waiting to see if he's going to whiff this ball or not before I continue to use boost. As you can see, he misses. I continue my plan of attack. Put some air roll on there to keep the ball going the direction I want it to, which is towards the left. And also the air roll action helps you in your recoil to absorb some of the impact of the ball. I put a little extra boost on there for good measure. But I still have 40 in the tank after touching the ball. And my point of landing, right, get my point of trajectory where the car is going to end up, is also being manipulated at the same time in this same air roll maneuver, so that after I make the play on the ball, let's say it gets saved or blocked, I can get back into the play again as quickly as possible. So here I continue my air roll, and if it's not for the goal explosion, I'm landing flat on this wall, ready to get back into play with enough boost, and I could even forward dodge on re-entry to the ground, and I'm right back into the play. So, but it wasn't necessary. We made the goal. Everything worked out. Okay, so let's recap then. Before we go up in the air, we're checking the time on the clock. Is it worth the risk? Aerials are high risk, high reward play, but is it worth the risk? What's the score? What's the time? Next, do I have enough boost for the play? Next, will I get there first? Is there somebody already up for the ball on the defense? And lastly, is there somebody on my team rotating back to cover the goal in case there's a clear and I don't get there in time or I whiff the ball? When I'm in the air, who's getting there first? Again, don't waste my boost if they're getting there before me. Bail out if they will. Conserve your boost for recovery. Air roll for power and recovery. Think about where you're going to land as you're taking flight, and get ready to land in a spot that is conducive to a good recovery. Could be the back of the net. Hopefully it's not. Most of the case probably won't be. Usually somewhere around the backboard. And that's it for your tutorial today. I appreciate you coming in and checking out my channel and checking out this video. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. Hopefully you got something from it. Please leave a like or a comment below. Let me know what you thought. And if there's something you'd like to see, I'd be happy to make a video for it to help you guys out. I'll catch you around in the next one.